2023 DNQ All-Star Race, the Winston, featuring the third annual Josh Long Memorial, will kick off this afternoon as drivers take to the racetrack to practice and try to get their karts dialed in. Lots of different driver talent here, or lack of, as we see Travis Brown, our fan vote for the Pro Cup and Busch Series All-Star Race. The garage is packed, and it's always good to see that Josh Long go-kart out here. Well, Jay-Z, is the Josh Long Memorial here today as well, along as the Winston.
Yeah, long-time competitor, pardon the pun, here at DNQ. Passed a little too soon. We missed him here. We're always happy to run this race here in his honor.
Let's go down to the tech garage, Jay-Z, and we'll go over what these drivers are doing to the engines, and it's also taping the pull cord.
Yeah, you want to have that spark, that ignition be at the right temperature. You want that engine running at peak power, so they will put tape or pull tape over that pull cord to get the right temperature for detonation.
And then we talk about wedge, another big tuning tool.
Yeah, which corner of the cart do you want to grip? Do you want the right rear, the left rear? You push that spindle down and raise that chassis up. It changes where the weight goes. So that cart's on entry, maybe it's a little tight. Maybe you want to move that spindle down in the left front, put a little more weight on there, get a little more weight on that right rear tire or what have you, or vice versa. Wedge is a key tool here when tuning in the DNQ series.
We see that practice right now, and these guys are looking for a feel. We'll see how that plays out here. For the drivers trying to make the Winston, let's go down to a driver who's already made the Winston via the fan vote, Alfredo Hidalgo. Down here with Alfredo Hidalgo, your Cup Series All-Star Fan Vote race winner. Alfredo, you got it done. Had a couple late night dumps, couple ballot drops, couple absentee ballots. We just talked to Travis Brown. He said his campaign worked very well. Your girlfriend apparently helped you out a ton, though.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't have done it without her. She definitely shared it to a lot of her friends and family, and she knows way more people than I do here. So shout out to my girlfriend. I couldn't have done it without you. Shout out to my Facebook moms. You guys were a big help in this as well. Definitely couldn't have done it without you guys either. So,
talk about this race tonight. 50 laps. The shorter of the races, but you're going a lot faster in these things. How do you mentally and physically prepare for a race that long?
Man, you just can't. You just go out there and try your best, really. Luckily, I'm working with the best of the best, so Robert's been a big help for me, and he's a good mentor and pointed me in the right direction, so I hope we can run well tonight.
Gabe Wood drove this kart last time. Did you change the seat in it?
Yes, I had. I definitely had to change the seat. I took some Jeffrey Earnhardt stickers off, and I actually relocated Jeffrey's face right here in the crotch area of Gabe's seat for next year, so he'll be back running that.
One thing's for sure, that engine's going to have a lot less load on it tonight with Alfredo Hidalgo in the seat going for the win here tonight in the All-Star race. Well, for the drivers locked in for the Winston, we had All-Star qualifying. And Travis, I know that you were a part of this as you joined us as our driver insight here for this video. What was it like out there trying to hit the box and get a good stop for these guys?
It was really, really fun. You know, I've spent a lot of time trying to hit the box, and I didn't quite hit it like I wanted to. I slid through a little bit, but we got it in there, and we were in the box a little longer than we'd like to have been in the box. But other than that, it was a great
Story
time.
of our lives.
JC, talk about the pressure on the pit crew here. The pressure on the pit crew is tremendous. These guys not usually in this
Yeah, you know, they're not rainbow warriors that show up every week to practice. They know that stopwatch is running. They know what really impacts where their drivers start. So that pit crew definitely feels the pressure as that qualifying session's going.
No doubt it was, and you had to have all the lug nuts on. So if you skip some lug nuts, it came back and cost you at least 5 seconds. So it was important for these guys to hit their marks. And Travis had an amazing pit stop. They handed you a cigarette at some point in time. I don't know. Yeah. Amazing strategy.
Yeah, we needed we didn't want to leave any boxes unchecked. That was for sure.
Yeah, an hour of sleep per 100 laps was the old rule of thumb. Let's go down and talk to Damian Jenks, who just missed out on that All-Star race vote to participate in All-Star qualifying. Down here with second place fan vote finisher Damian Jenks. Are we protesting the election? That's the first thing. Are we storming the tower? What happened during that thing? Travis Brown had an amazing following, actually got it, but what did it feel like? It seemed like it was going back and forth there for a while.
Yeah, I guess I never expected to win it anyways with Moonhead in there, but we gave it our best effort. Definitely a whole team effort, probably a couple of hometowns, a couple of high schools back home, a couple random mom groups on Facebook. But yeah, we gave it our best shot. It's tough to compete with Moonhead with his Twitter following and all the guys in Moon Car and all that. So it was our best effort, but we came a little short.
Talk about tonight, 100 laps. How do you get yourself physically and mentally ready to run that long of a race?
Just try to hang in there, I guess. Make it to the end and hope we're close at the 5 to go caution, because I think we all know how this goes. That changes everything. So we'll try to make it in and hold on.
Yeah, if all goes well, you're going to run 125 laps tonight, plus practice. Yep. It's a lot of strain on you guys. What do you think the biggest change is going to happen during that halfway break, as long as you make it into the race tonight?
For us, probably just seeing what our tires are doing, make sure we're still close on that, and just getting it ready for the next 50.
How do you feel about next year with the Pro Cup Series going to heavyweights? You've got to be one of the favorites to win that championship next season.
Definitely looking forward to it. I think things would be a lot different with everyone racing at the weight I race at, so I like my chances, and going to try to get my first win in D&Q.
Damian Jenks, he's going to take this thing right to the Congress building and try to protest those election results. And if he can't do that, he's just going to try to win the old-fashioned way. Thanks, man. The Open, the race to make the race. Zach Campolonia, a Dash Series champion. Eric Yos will run in the first row.
Ryan Ayers and Andrew Hale in the second row.
Third row, we got Jay Zarapata in the 32 and the Amish running back Jonathan Stewart in the 92.
Jeremy Redneck Survivor, Jeremy Morrison, Jeremy Murphy.
Will Monroe and Patrick Briotti. I should know that.
Row 6, Damian Jenks, our interview from earlier, and Chuck Herman.
He almost stole the fan vote, by the way.
He
Damian
did.
Jenks.
We had a late night vote dump, and you got to watch out.
3 a.m. spikes.
Rib Shack and Dylan Teasley in the next row.
Austin O'Shields and Hunter Parsons.
Zach Smith and Matt Weber in the 35.
If you're starting back here, I'm a little nervous for these guys. This Duncan Allen, Mike Melton, the past champion. You got to be nervous. You got to finish in the top 16 to make the race here. Very interesting as Andrew Fuller will round out the field in his Krispy Kreme deal. 25 laps, top 16 transfer. So let's check it out, guys. I'm interested to see how disgustingly dirty it gets in the back of this field as the green flag is out.
I was thrilled I was not in this. This was so much fun to watch, though.
There's some decent talent in this race trying to race their way in. The Amish running back there, Stewart's won a whole bunch of dash races, but hasn't quite simulated that success with the big tires on the right-hand side as Yost starts to eke it out a little bit by a cart length of the rest of the field as a couple are wadded up off of 2.
Yeah, that brought out the caution for that wreck off of 2, and that puts us in the Professor Clutchworks restart zone. A lot of talented drivers are in this race, just like Travis said. He doesn't want to run in this race, but you got guys that have won races this year in the back of the field. And JC, is that just something where the track has changed so much just in the temperature outside alone? It's really throwing these guys through a loop.
Yeah, as Travis can attest to, when you're running in the summer and it's hot out, that track's way different than in the fall here when there's more moisture and that track gets running and there's a lot of grips. That notebook changes, doesn't it, Travis?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Our notebook was just turned upside down for this one, as you will see in a little bit with my results.
Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like poll numbers from the Democrats and poll numbers from Fox News. You don't know who to really trust when the racetrack changes like this. A lot of battles out there, and Mike Melton's starting to make his way through the field to try to make that top 16.
Yeah, that wily veteran, I expected him to creep his way through the field. If he can keep from getting run into or left reared, I expect him to be up there. As Yost has fallen back to the third spot, as the other outside pole sitter stuck on the outside of him, as we see the hornet's nest happening behind that initial pack.
Damian Jenks almost took that fan vote, Travis, but he's still running pretty good. He should be good enough to make this race. Top 16 is pretty good to do for him. I think he's going to be all right. And he's definitely one to watch next year for the heavy class. Pro Cup next year, big blocks.
It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. Oh, my God, that guy was up on top of him. Oh, he's still on him. Oh, my gosh.
I got to thank Ultimate Racing Helmets for their sponsorship this year on the corner cams. Get more of that stuff here. But, yeah, the big block deal for Pro Cup, I'm super excited to see the heavyweights.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I can't thank you guys enough. I really can't. From the bottom of my unhealthy heart.
The Bernie Sanders quotes always got me. I'm asking you once again for a heavy class in D&Q. Those always made me laugh.
I knew it would work.
always want a free handout. 25-lap race, Jay-Z. What are you looking for? Do you just get in a spot where you know you're in the transfer and just ride to the 5 to go?
That's what I would do, especially if you take a peek over your shoulder and you see you got a cart length or two and the guy behind you. There's a little room in front of you. Keep your nose clean. Save your stuff for the big race that pays the money. You're going to be starting in the back anyhow, whether you finish, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th in this race. I say save it and live to fight another day if you're going to transfer.
No, look at him.
I don't know what he's...
What was that?
I don't know. I thought he was trying to air jerk off or something there. I don't know what he was doing.
Maybe he was watching football. They had football on the video board. I caught myself glancing up at it a couple of times.
Yeah, I remember I asked Jeremy, I said, hey, can we get some football news? Absolutely we can. So the perks of having a big screen at Milburn Speedway. And look at these guys right here. This is great competition just to make the race here in the Open.
Yeah, the track is really dialed in. You got Ryan Ayers on the inside of Stewart there fighting for that 4th spot. Ayers a regular here in the DNQ series, fighting one of the up-and-comers as we see another pack here. Yost falling back, losing spot after spot after spot. Hopefully he can get his stuff together and not fall out of the tranny spot.
Looks like the second groove is there, Travis. Is that something that you start playing around with on long races like this?
Oh, absolutely. You can't settle for one line, that's for sure. I'll be honest, Eddie, I don't know. I'm the wrong guy to ask. It seems like wherever I go is the wrong spot. But I do see one guy up here on the outside, and he just got passed by 3 carts in one corner. So I would say it's probably not a good idea.
Consider the source. It's Andrew Fuller starting in the back of the field. I'm sure he's having some kind of issue.
Yeah.
As Damian Jakes works to the bottom of Eric Yost.
I love this racing in a hoodie with no neck brace. Like that's America right there. That's freedom of expression. Who cares about your 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th vertebrae, man? Just you got to win at all costs.
I'm changing my ways. I'm getting a neck brace next year. I'm sticking with the hoodie, but I've seen too many pictures of myself in very bad situations without a neck brace, and I'm over it.
There it is, our Nitro 5 to go caution. And here's where it gets absolutely out of control as Kyle McGowan waves the green flag. Let's see what happens here. 16 transferred. So right around Zach Smith and that orange-numbered blue cart is where you need to watch, and Thomas Markham as well. Alex Kirk in danger of not making this race.
Yeah, old Ribshack had some speed early on, but as the season's changed, he fell like a boat anchor. He's got to drive his rear end off to try to make it into the show here tonight. So we're 4 wide, coming off of 4.
My God, this is a gaggle right here. They're still all over each other. They're 4 wide.
What is it like when you're in the driver's seat watching that? I know when I was racing and I see these restarts, I would just immediately back off because I didn't want to flip because I knew what was coming.
I usually can't even get there, so I don't have to worry about it. But I have a great seat for it. It's usually right in front of me.
No doubt. Thomas Markham, a seasoned veteran, in danger of not making this race as the white flag is out for the win. Looks like Campolonia and Hale are going to battle it out.
Campolonia on the high side, Hale on the bottom, Hale with a nose. He's going to win the Open.
Andrew Hale, winner of the Open. You and Zach had a hard battle. It was pretty good. Y'all went back there with the 4-wide battle happening 5th on back, but you and Zach had a heck of a battle there.
Yeah, I knew the top was going to be the fastest on the restart, and it wasn't, but that's how it goes. I got to the bottom and got going, and they bottlenecked up out of 2 there, and I got up under them, come down, and my spotter here kept telling me, kept shortening, and I was like, oh, God, who's coming? And it was Zach. I got door slammed, but hey, it's good racing. Come out of it. I didn't get wrecked. It's fine.
100 laps. You going to fall out of the seat?
Try not to. Other than my arm getting hot, I think I'll make it.
Well, you've got Moonhead starting in front of you. That's an easy pass. You got a couple. Brandon Connard, he could be kind of easy, but you got to think. There's some tough. You're still starting 6th even after winning the Open.
6th ain't bad. Hopefully they get to battling up front. We can get by them.
Andrew Hale, winner of the Open here for the D&Q Busch. And up next, we're going to have the Josh Long Memorial.
71 lap Josh Long Memorial. I'm taking Jonathan Stewart. He's won a ton of these dash races. Who do you guys got?
Oh, Jay-Z's got Tatuges, experienced veteran. I think he can get the job done here this evening.
I got Campolonia. He's won it before. He's past champion. I got him.
All right. Great class photo, all in the memory of Josh Long here for the Carolina Racing Supplies Dash Series. Very excited to kick off the 3rd annual Josh Long Memorial Race. This field is ready to go. 71 laps here. What do you got to do to stay in the seat?
Oh, that's a tough one, man. I sit here and crush fast food and trans fats all day, so I'm not staying in any seat unless it's an office chair. I think you got to make sure your tires are set right, your pressures aren't too high to start. Your cart comes in late, but you don't get run over. Travis, what are you doing to your go-kart?
I was working on the go-kart, but I was also working on myself. I ran 5 miles every day before my All-Star race, so I think you just have to be in tip-top physical shape.
Why do I not? I don't believe that.
It's complete bullshit.
That's all right. Pole award goes to Steven Taugis with a 12.536. He will share the front row with Blaine Donahue, another veteran in the Dash Series.
Just behind them, we got Charlie Furman and Hasey Meyer.
3rd row, the 30, Ryan Vargas and Jonathan Stewart in the 92.
Ryan Ayers and Mickey Roop. Ayers in that Josh Long Memorial cart, so it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Jesse Gagnon and Isaac Harris.
Casey Heschel in number 1 and Zach Campologna, the favorite in the 6.
Mike Melton, a past Dash Series champion, and Joe Henney in the next row.
Matt Murphy and Tyler Treblecock.
David Hutchins in a 69, nice, and Peyton Sneffner.
He would be a guy that has 69 on his card. He's got the look, man. He is number 69 all the way.
Preston Chitwood, Jamie Edwards back here.
Ran out the field for the Carolina Racing Supplies Dash Series. Now, for you at home, you go, what's the Dash Series? Well, this is it right here. Small tires all the way around, 0 stagger. So you got to figure out how to make this thing turn.
Yeah, that stagger really helps across the back of the go-kart. When you don't have it, you've got to adjust that cross, use that spindle the way we were talking about before, or maybe even try to stretch that tire if you can with a hot box and some patience here as we come around to take the green flag in the Dash Series.
So the next question is, this race is during the day, as Joe Henning has a electric one-man car stand, Avenger one-man car stand, in-car camera, as well as the Amish running back. Now, we're running this during the day. We run most of the races at night. Do you feel like there's any change with the sun being out, Travis?
Oh, absolutely. Overheating's a big thing you got to watch for. It was really, really warm out here for these competitors. Saw a lot of guys getting IVs after this race.
Well, here we go. We'll see. We'll see if they. I thought you were talking about the engines there for a minute, but I would actually believe some of the guys would overheat. As here we go, 71 laps, Jay-Z. We take the green. Taugis out to the lead, pole sitter. See how long he can hold it.
Taugis holds a pretty wheel when he gets a good qualifying run. He's out of the shit. He can do pretty well. It's just sometimes he ends up starting in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th spot, and he's back in that gaggle there that you see as we're 3 wide with the 87 on the inside of I think that's old what's his name? I forgot. He used to drive for Tips.
Oh, no, he's not in this race.
Never mind.
Oh, man. Beef Tips left his shit at the house. Unbelievable.
Bummer.
It's not a points-paying event, and I understand why you don't do it. But these are big races right here. Actually, it paid probably about, I think it was around $700 to win this race today. Well, that's pretty good.
Mickey Roop knows that. He's on it, trying to run the outside, making up a few spots there in the 8 if someone's around.
Isaac Harris around, started 9th. He had 1 dash win in 2023. Let's see what happened. Just shit canned back there by the blue car.
It looked like it might have been a case of aero loose, honestly, the way that thing just whipped around on him.
Yeah, he got some air packed on that rear end. So let's see what Joe Henning saw. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he had a little help there, no doubt.
Yeah. Like a climate protester on the highway, man. Just run over.
Professor Clutchworks restart zone. See what Taugis can hold off the Amish running back who's creeping his way into those DMs. You better watch out. Vargas trying to make it 3 wide there. Vargas doing a good job up to 4th.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time in the wind tunnel, I know, leading up to this one, so they had that thing really dialed in.
I see a lot of aero stuff going on with these carts, and Most of the time the guys do it, they don't even touch the mechanical setup for it, and they go, now it's junk. Well, it's like, no shit, you just put 50 cows of side force in this thing. You got to free it up.
As the season's gone on, I've seen more and more Bondo fiberglass and like sanding discs in the pits of guys just really trying to fine-tune, detach that air from the left rear, because we got a couple going around.
That
Someone up
5
against
is
the
a
fence too.
frickin' weapon. Not only did he just dump somebody,
Yeah,
he's
he
just
is.
getting there knocking everybody around.
Yeah. He's in a hurry. Oh my gosh, what a move that was. They're trying for 4 wide down into turn 1. And that was not going to work. And that was literally for what, third to last?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
That is what makes D&Q
yeah.
great.
I mean, we don't even pay down
That's
the
usually
field.
where I'm
We
racing.
should pay the guy that finishes last $1. At least give him something back, right?
Yeah. It would be nice.
Hard luck award.
Yeah. Casey Meyer doing a great job as well. Started towards the front. He's got that yellow fire suit on. He is up to second place in that 935 as he go on board with Jonathan Stewart, the Avenger one-man kart stands in-kart camera.
Yeah, the Dash Series is the 92's bread and butter here. When he unloads, he's just got that one cart, I believe, and he's not quite wholesale for the Dash Series, but the setup's definitely geared towards it. So this is his best chance to win here this afternoon.
Yeah, we've seen him struggle quite a bit when he puts the big tires on the right side, and you know it's fairly impressive that he actually runs decent in both classes, because I know how hard it is just to run good in one.
Yeah, definitely. I can't imagine.
We go to the Ultimate Racing Helmets camera down the backstretch. Great footage here, and the field is definitely spread out. No doubt about it. And that's the talent level that we're seeing here. And you know what that means. Lap traffic will be a factor very soon, JZ. And we know in D&Q, nobody gets out of the way for anyone.
No, everyone thinks they're Ryan Newman and tries to be the hardest hardest go-kart to pass out there on the track, as Tatuja's coming under a little bit of pressure from the 92 machine, but the 92's pushing like a dump truck off a floor, and Tatuja just hangs on to that top spot.
Got that big arc going into one, Travis, and then in 3 and 4 he takes a big arc too, which is not very traditional, and he gets a run off the corner right there. It's a different line than Taujas is running.
Yeah, he's definitely moving around, and he about got himself stuck in the wall. Let's see what he does down here. Going to run just a little bit higher, and he gets that big run off the corner.
Just a case of the runs like eating Taco Bell late at night.
You'd like to see Tatu just open up his hands a little bit more. He's really got that nose trying to cut. He's scrubbing some speed with that Amish running back. It's a little bit straighter shot off the corner and really revs up those R's a lot better than Tatuja's right now.
Yeah, you can see him pinching it off on the corner. He should just unwind the wheel a little bit. But we'll see. That battle will continue for a lot of laps. But speaking of another battle that we're getting ready to watch, it's the 10th annual Miltona 50. 10 years have been running this race. Very excited to watch that on January.
It's one of the classics. Guys unload whatever they got in their garage to try to make that show. Put it on your calendars, folks. You will not want to miss it.
Casey Meyer getting past now. Oh, Ryan Ayers gets into him. He's going to go around on the backstretch, and about takes our cameraman.
Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah, production crew.
That'll bring out the caution. Tough break for Casey Meyer. Had a great run going there. And, man.
That would not have happened if that guy would have had a fluorescent vest
Absolutely not.
And maybe a hard hat.
Absolutely not. No doubt. I wish it would have cleaned him out. Let's take a look at this again from that camera.
I wonder what this guy was thinking right about here.
Oh, shit.
Check his
Tough
drawers,
break for
you
him.
know what I mean?
Looks like Casey got a little low. Opened the door for Ryan Ayers. He got in the loose stuff down there, JZ, and it looked like he just upset the cart too much. And then Campologna come across his nose.
Yeah, it's kind of like YouTube in the mid-2000s. 2 carts, 1 groove, if you catch my drift. And only one had to get squirted out, and it ended up being the 935. So just a racing deal, in my opinion, Travis.
Absolutely. I'm just happy this thing didn't get airborne.
Yeah, this D&Q safety initiatives for sure kept that thing on the ground. As we go back, reading the Professor Clutchworks restart zone. Man, that's the only 2 carts, 1 hole video I watched that I didn't gag after watching. Man, you just unlocked a lot of memories right there. 'Cause,
Right.
we're back green, and it looks like a lot of drivers, as I watched Joe Henning just do that and cause that wreck.
Ooh! Oh, it's the big one.
Yeah, Joe Henning caused that. He got down there in the loose shed. What are they doing messing around down there in the bottom? I don't know what the deal is there. It's Tyler Treblecock, the Rookie of the Year this year in the Dash Series, goes around. That's going to bring out the caution. Tough break for him. Big impact there down the backstretch.
These guys keep running that left front in the loose stuff, and it's like throwing the brakes on. Then you just get run over from behind. You know, I'm more of a top myself, so I don't know what the heck they're doing.
That
we'll have to
started
interview
back
them after
at
the race
Joe
to find out what
Henning
they
getting
were
in the
thinking.
loose stuff, then jam the field up behind him as we go back green. And then that caused a wreck. So, you know, that has that effect. And you figure these guys would know that at this point. But it is D&Q. This is the introductory series as they're 3 wide heading down the front stretch.
Well, cautions breed cautions, and looks like we're about to have another one. And oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it
I've
looks
seen more body
crazier
slams at
from this
WrestleMania,
angle.
but we're creeping up on the numbers here. Gosh, these guys just can't drive. Some of them in bad aero
Ryan
situations.
Vargas got
Travis.
one guy.
Unbelievable. Do you feel that in the seat? Do you get aero tight?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. It moves you. I'd liken it to getting near a semi.
You feel the
going
air
down
push you
interstate.
side to
It just
side as we're
moves you
watching the
around.
guys in the back of the field who suck, not doing very well and beating the shit out of each other as we're watching the 2 leaders and the rest of that. That's got to be a lot of fun to race in, though, Jay-Z. As you go on board with Joe Henning on the side-by-side camera. Started 13th, currently 12th, not doing shit on as many laps as we've run.
No, you can see that wheel's constantly turning to the left instead of that gentle counter correct to the right. Meaning that go-kart's just a little tight right now, which is scrubbing speed. But Ryan Vargas on the outside of Henning now getting shuffled back after he was running the top 4 for a majority of this race so far. They are beating and banging. No Nerf bar is safe out there this afternoon.
Absolutely not. And here's the battle for the lead, guys. And we're watching that line start to transition again. Looks like Jonathan Stewart is working on a slightly right moderate side, and we got Trump in the lead there going full left.
Absolutely. He is. He's not giving up. You know, he's contesting his position. Some might say he rightfully has that lead. Others might think that the second place runner in this race should have the lead. And we might see some shenanigans to get him to the front.
Yeah, they might take Towges off the All-Star ballot next year. You never know.
5-2 decision here. Travis, you've been in this position before. You're riding behind a guy. You know you're faster. He's being polite now, right? It's just the first debate. No one's really throwing out nasty haymakers. How long do you wait before you pull out that dirty tactic to try to get him removed from the ballot?
Oh, if I said that publicly, it wouldn't surprise him. Would it?
Amen, brother.
Jonathan Stewart started 5th. He's got 3 wins this year in the Dash Series, and he is hawking. I mean, he is on Towges' back bumper, and I think once the aero blocking stops, he may have a shot at this win today.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As you see a hell of a battle back here between these guys, just throwing haymakers.
Mike Melton, Charlie Furman, Ryan Ayers, and Campolonia, your champion from this year, out leading that group. And then we've got the group behind that, which we're getting ready to see in a minute. Right about here is where that blue 5 is that shit cans everybody. There he goes, right by your screen. So watch out. We have a Houthi rebel in one of the carts here today.
the Jaws music for when we need an onboard camera on that cart with some Jaws music.
No doubt.
That's my 2024 suggestion.
Yeah, you never know what they're going to take over. 1 minute everything's good, and then you're over by the Red Sea, and you got a couple visitors you never wanted.
That's exactly right.
Seems to be
You're
the
out
strategy
there out
the
in
Five's
front.
on.
You're enjoying your lead, then all of a sudden everyone's trying to cross your border all at once, and you are overwhelmed.
Yeah, Durka. I would hate to lap that guy here in a couple laps. We do give lucky dogs here in D&Q. As a lap car gets in the way, opens the door, and Jonathan Stewart's going to steal the lead from Towges.
Man, you hate to see the lead handed over like that, but sometimes there's just a little bit of collusion, I guess is the word I'm looking for, and you'll have some people lose the lead.
The great D&Q hoax.
Yeah, we're going to have to file a dossier for that to look into what just happened there on the racetrack. But it looks like it helped Jonathan Stewart out because Tauges is now far behind. Preston Shitwood is now getting lapped as well. Let's see if he can hold up Jonathan Stewart as he is. Tauges going to take a shot at Stewart here to try to get the lead back. Gotta love D&Q lap traffic. There's no better in the country.
Shout out to the Burnett's for prepping a fantastic racetrack. These guys are side by side, two grooves, fighting for the win, giving these fans everything they paid for their tickets. We're 3 wide going into 3.
Little sideways, got in the loose stuff, but the battle rages on as looks like Stewart may win out here as he takes the high line and gets to drive off the corner. Campolonia's around.
Oh, we got one around.
Zach Campolonia around on the backstretch. He is the 2023 Dash Series champion, and that will bring out the caution. In 47 laps of 71, been a long race so far, but we clearly have two very good karts here going for the win.
Yeah, they are head and shoulders above the rest of the field. They are the Trump and DeSantis. Everyone else is like, Tim Abbott as we come to the Professor Clutchworks restart as the green flag is out.
We've had enough cautions, so we go single file till the 5 to go caution, which is part of the deal. You get 3 attempts at double file restarts, and then we go single file. And surprising that didn't happen actually earlier knowing this group.
Oh, man, we got a small but peaceful battle down here out of turn 2. They are just all over one another.
Yeah, these like you said, Travis, cautions breed cautions, am I right? These guys are beating and bagging. Vargas trying to get back into the thick of things after losing a few spots here, but the 56 machine underneath him feeds him a right front, moves him up to the racetrack, but Vargas hangs on to the spot.
Yeah, Vargas was up to 4th at some point. And then all of a sudden, the domestic violence happens in the middle of the field. And before you know it, you're all the way back to about 15th. And as we're on board with Joe Henning, we are live right here in Portland, Oregon, watching this domestic violence happen, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah, the middle of the field here is definitely comparable to the Chaz region of lawlessness here. You have no idea what's going on at the cesspool. You're just trying to survive at this point.
And that's a dangerous spot to be there on the outside of Blaine. Like right here. Oh, my gosh. There it is. I knew it was going to happen, Travis. That's a dark place to be. You do not want to be there chasing the dragon.
No, you do not. Oh, my gosh. Oh, and look at that cart. We've got some ill-handling race carts out here, gentlemen.
That's one of those guys, and I feel like back here, especially, somebody makes a gigantic caster swing, and they don't check the toe. And they get out there and it's darty, and that's what's going on in the back of these fields. I guarantee it.
Right. I'm speaking from experience. It happens. It's a real issue, and we don't talk about it enough.
As we're here on the wall cam here, Ultimate Racing Helmets, you can see the track's just getting so very wide here. They are inches off the wall, especially on the exit of 4. As the night goes on, that's probably just going to get wider and wider, and kind of like off of 2 at Daytona, it gets real tight real fast.
And everybody's vying for that spot. You're trying to get a run on somebody, run on the higher line. Next thing you know, you're up high. Next thing you know, you're on the wall. Next thing you're flipping. Next thing you're in the meat wagon. It just happens so fast. Mm-hmm. I just think most of the time as a driver, Travis, when you're putting yourself in a bad spot, I feel like.
Absolutely. You know it, and you do it anyway. As we go on board here, I mean, we've got a lot of defensive moves being made.
Yeah, I would totally agree. In the Carolina Racing Supply Dash Series, as we're on board here, there's that little angel on your shoulder that says, "I'm hanging out on the right rear corner of a guy."
Oh, we got one upside down. Oh, this guy is a trooper. He gets back in and keeps going. Look at this.
Jamie Edwards goes for a flip down the backstretch. Let's try to see what happened here to Jamie Edwards. Whoa! A lot of left side weight that wreck, didn't it? Just snapped
Oh,
on
yeah.
him, Jay-Z, didn't it? As we go on board, Jonathan Stewart, our race leader, involved in that one. Wow.
He just got turned right, and that big body that spends a lot of time at Cookout just flipped the car right over.
Well, since we're close to 5 to go, this is going to be our Nitro 5 to go caution. And here we go. We got some lane choices to do. Looks like Stewart takes the bottom. And, I mean, you never know here. You know, if you can gain a lot of rows, take the top, right?
Well, speaking of Cookout, this is like going to Cookout. Especially the one in Mooresville. It's always packed. You have a split decision to pick which lane, and it'll really set the tone for the rest of the evening.
That is very true. As we go green flag, compressor, clutchworks, restart zone. That's probably one of the most big driver things you've said in this whole broadcast so far, Travis. That's very good of you. I like that. That's a great analogy. I appreciate the insight.
Yeah.
Look at Ryan Ayers in that Josh Long Memorial kart. He is up to second, and that is a big deal for that kart and Ryan Ayers trying to win this race.
That's like Dale Jr. in the July 2001 Pepsi 400. Everyone's on their feet rooting for that guy to win right now.
No doubt. No doubt. And if he can get to him, he'll do it. Just hasn't had the kart to do it tonight. Tauge is going to make the run on the inside. He's going to take away that second position.
Oh, what a battle we've got back here. Guys all over this racetrack. They know, the gloves are off at this point. I'm not sure they were ever on, but if they were, they are definitely off at this point.
Yeah, and you know if you're 15th, you got to finish 10th. I mean, you can get a cup ride if you finish good in this race here, and that's what we're seeing towards the middle of this field. These guys towards the back of the pack, they want to tell their aunt at Thanksgiving dinner that they finished 10th in a 71-lap race for DNQ. So they're going to root and gouge their way to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those bragging rights, isn't it, Jay-Z? You go to work on Monday. I finished 10th out of 30 karts.
It sounds better. I will say that.
Yes, it does here. Vargas on the inside of the 00 trying to make it happen, but the Amish running back is just absolutely running away with it right now like Trump poll numbers. He is way ahead of Tatujas, who clawed his way back past Ayers. We're coming down to, it's got to be one to go.
Getting very close to the finish of the Josh Long Memorial, the third annual Josh Long Memorial, as Vargas making a move on Isaac Harris, Charlie Furman. They are far behind Jonathan Stewart, who is working his way into the first ever win of a Josh Long Memorial. Definitely a threat to win the championship, as he is going to take the win off of 4, the winner of the Josh Long Memorial. Let's go down and talk with him.
How about it, your winner of the Josh Long Memorial here in the dash, unofficially. You know Eddie's going to tear this thing down to a box. That's right. Jonathan Stewart, man, you was about a 10th quicker every lap. This cart was just on the rail.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I always picture when you tie a lawnmower to a stick in your yard and it just runs around by itself. It handles like that.
Definitely some redneck ingenuity, is it?
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's definitely working, but it's got to mean a lot to you. 71 laps, you didn't fall out of sync, still in good spirits. This is y'all's crown jewel of the year. It's got to mean a lot to win this one.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and you see the 71 started up front there at the end, but he couldn't quite get it done. But yeah, it was cool.
Does anybody help you get here? Any sponsors? Who lets you come here?
Wish I had sponsors. My wife lets me come here. My friend Joe helps out, and he runs around the back somewhere, but it works out for me at least.
So why can't he set his up to run up front?
You're going to have to ask him.
Well, Jonathan Stewart, he's here in the SRI Victory Lane, winner of the third annual Josh Long Memorial. Stephen Tott gets second place finisher here in the Josh Long Memorial. Started on the pole, but was there any catching that 92 or holding him off here today?
I screwed up on the restart. He got by me, but he was quicker. So we'll take first place loser. Maybe we'll get in the tech shed.
I say the cherry picker going from the champ to the predator didn't work out today for you.
Well, first place loser, so not very well. But congrats to Stewart. It was fairly clean, but on the restarts it was a little rough, but it's fun coming back to this, so it was good. Thanks to G-Stats. He's going to be badass next year, so it was fun. One place short.
Stephen Tott, second place finisher. If you ain't first, you're last.
You're good.
Third place finisher, Ryan Ayers here driving the 71, the J Long Special. Ryan, I know it's not the win that you've got here in the past, but to still run the 71 and keep on Josh's name has got to mean a lot to y'all.
Yeah, it was pretty good. We I think we missed on gear and made a little bit of tire pressure, but not bad. I want to thank Kurt for coming over Wednesday and lining this thing out for me. And yeah, we're okay. We weren't bad. Just restarts were a little rough, but I mean that's just part of it, I guess.
Part of flat card, you don't get to do that in that UMP modified a lot. You got to get used to using the fenders.
Yeah. Modifieds, you'll just ramp over somebody with the open wheel on it.
But y'all still hit each other for some reason.
Yeah, sort of.
There you go, Ryan Ayers, third place finish, driving the Josh Long Special number 71.
Escape Pool Cleaning Cup Series SRI Pole Award will go to Kyle Beatty. His pit stop and his laps were 56 seconds and .840, and that's going to put him on the pole. Great job by the pit crew. Great pit stop, great execution.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to is execution. Everyone knows what they have to do when they get out there. That having that pit stop really helps as we start our lineup here in the front row. Chris Bailey and Beatty.
Adam Welch, Alfredo Hidalgo.
Cross thread, Craig Smith, and Mike Contarino, past champion in the next row.
All right. Curtis Markham and Jay Zarapata in 32.
Biscuit Williams. And
sure. Mecky Harshaw.
Okay.
Matt Weber, CJ Winslow, and our champion from this year, Robert Showalter, gonna start shotgun on the field as we look at the Cup Series. A very competitive field. The prices of engines are going up, and we're gonna work on that. So we'll see how this goes. And you get a long race like this, Jay-Z. Doesn't pay points. I understand some of those guys don't want to show up and put mileage on their engines. Clones are not cheap as we go green.
No, they're north of $1,500 a pop now for a name brand engine you may want to have. So all that custom cam grinding and all that stuff is Beatty with all that arrows trying to fight off Chris Bailey in the famous 4 as a couple are around in 3 and 4.
Jay Zarapata goes for a spin.
Debris. There's debris.
There was debris. I saw that. I'm not sure what it was.
Off.
Do you think Beatty's arrow's helping or hurting him? I know I talked to him in the pits before, and he said it's tight as shit. I said, well, no kidding.
Well, yeah, I don't know what you'd expect, but this is another. I mean, look at the cost as we go on board. The aero cost, the engine cost. I mean, you walk through that Cup garage and you hear Oliver Anthony playing and all those hollers. I mean, these guys, it's tough out here for the Cup field.
Yeah, and we're talking about curbing that in a 25. Predator makes an engine called the Ghost, and it's got pretty comparable horsepower to what these guys are racing, and it's $300. So that's a way to get more of the small teams back into Cup racing.
It's not a bad idea. DNQ has not been afraid to go out on a limb before, and they're sending people home in every single class. As 3 of them get together off of 2. No one's safe out there. Zarapata in 32 takes advantage and picks up another spot.
How's Biscuit Williams involved in that? I love his driver lineup. It's just a biscuit.
Yes, that is awesome.
Gotta love it.
Do we know the origins of the nickname?
That's his actual name. I don't believe it's a nickname. As we're watching Chris Bailey lead this race, started second. He's our 2022 champion. Had some controversy this year, failed a tire sample, which happens in DAQ. You know, these guys are trying to get all that they can out of it, as we want to thank Ultimate Racing Helmets again for their sponsorship of the corner cameras. But that stuff happens. You get caught, you go, all right, you pay the fine, you're back racing in DNQ after you serve a suspension. And that's what happens. Sometimes you just get busted, you be a man, and then you're good to go.
Have we ever had a protest? Not like a protest in the tech shed. I mean, has someone ever just outright called you a liar and made a big stink about it?
There has been in the past. However, a lab that has no skin in the game that we pay to take a sample, they say it's wrong is wrong. And that's basically it.
So no
that's pretty much it. I mean, you're not going to protest a lab. It's like going to Maury and saying the kid's not yours afterwards.
Now, where is this lab? Hold on.
Blue Ridge Labs does all the tire samples. And I feel like they do a great job. They do a great job for Millburn Speedway as well. And they tell us exactly what's in the tire when we get it back, which is very interesting.
Oh, wow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we can see the simple green in the Windex as we look at that aero-induced 21 machine of Kyle Beatty.
Currently running third, and I feel like those drag numbers, Travis, are a little too high from the tunnel. They didn't look at that as they were factoring it in, did they?
No, and I mean, this thing is just, it's a work in progress, I would imagine.
Absolutely, as we're watching the fan vote for the Cup Series race, Alfredo Hidalgo hounding the kart owner, Robert Showalter, for that.
Now, he got an absurd number of votes, by the way. That was more power to him, but I just that was an interesting saga to watch unfold.
There were some reports online. I wouldn't say this, but some people are saying that it was a Russian bot farm that was trying to push through the election interference into the fan vote. So I don't abide by it. I don't see any proof, but the internet is saying things.
Get some dark pages on Twitter. You could really look into the DNQ voting scandal, I'm sure, if you look deep enough. Craig Smith leading this group of Contarino, Curtis Markham, and CJ Winslow. Good to see CJ back in the series. Curtis Markham does an awesome job. Curtis Markham's been racing for a long time. Ran in the Busch Series, ran in the Cup Series, as Adam Welsh parking his entry for this event. Unfortunate. But Curtis Markham out here, he just comes out to have fun. I mean, this guy doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. He has won a ton of races, big late model races, Busch races, you name it. He's been part of a running. He's ran well and won races. He just comes out here to have fun, and that's a great part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've talked about the level of competition in this series, how we're sending people home in every class. You know, B mains happen on the regular here in DNQ. If you make the show and if you win, you are no slouch.
Yeah, a lot of talent through these fields. And it's only going up. I mean, we see a lot of these development programs coming in and spending the big R&D dollars with the aero advancements and whatnot.
Yeah, and I mean, as a racer, do you see that and go, shit,
Oh,
now I got to spend $15 on Lexan?
It makes me puking sick. It makes me puking sick to even think about it.
Speaking of campaigns, your campaign on X was probably one of the best things I've seen in a while. The videos made me laugh very much.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, we set out with a goal and we accomplished that goal.
Caution is out. For what reason, I'm not really sure. Could just be for boring. This halfway. Sorry. Too many drinks up here in the booth. That'll do it to you.
Yep.
We are halfway. Jay-Z, now is a very important time for these racers. The teams come out here. They're going to mess this kart up by messing around with stuff. Let's go down and ask Showalter what he's got going on.
Showalter, what's it going to take to beat Bailey here?
I got to fix my tight in the center. So if I can fix that, we'll be all right.
Big air pressure swing coming here?
So the more we ran, it came in, but it's still tight. So I think I just started out too high, so I need to go down, I think. We'll see. Hopefully I hit the magic number.
Well, here we go. The teams are working. Who's not drinking right now is doing the adjustments. Maybe a couple guys have had a couple cocktails. Maybe they're working on it too. But that's D&Q, Travis. That's the mission statement of this series, isn't it?
It's the way God intended is what it is. I mean, this is America. This is what the founding fathers had in mind, was this very moment we're seeing right here.
By God, by D&Q.
Beatty, what's going on, dude? How are you going to pass these three guys?
I don't know. I think we need to change the gear or something. I don't know if we got time for that on our pit stop, but we're going to make a little air pressure adjustment. The car's sliding a bit in the groove, so I was having to run down in the mud, and then it just bogs all the RPM out of it down there. So check a little air out of it and try to run the right line. It should be all right.
How's that arrow doing for you? Still tight?
Yeah, it's still tight. Way better than it was in qualifying, though. That was a mess.
All right, good luck.
We're going to let these guys work on their karts. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Okay, lunch is over. Now back to work. I are you, Mr. Flintstone?
Greetings, Rocky, my boy. Pack of Winstons, please.
Oh, you like them Winston cigarettes, huh, Mr. Flintstone?
But of course, they really got something.
You bet your life. Folks who really enjoy smoking know it's what's up front that counts, and that's where Winston steps out ahead of the crowd with their exclusive filter blend. Choice golden tobaccos, specially selected and specially processed for filter smoke.
Hold it!
What you mean?
What are you pitching Winstons at me for? You know I never smoke nothing else.
Just practicing, Mr. Flintstone. Everybody knows that.
Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
Yeah.
See you soon, Rocky.
Welcome back to the Winston, featuring the Josh Log Memorial from the Milburn Speedway in Salisbury, North Carolina. The adjustments have been made, whether you messed them up or not. We're going to see if Chris Bailey messed up, if Showalter made the right adjustments, and we're going to see if somebody put a set of soakers on. Maybe they'll go right to the front. What do you think Craig Smith did during this break here?
I hope he didn't do anything, so maybe take a half pound of air out all the way around. Let that cart reset. It was pretty good. I hope he didn't touch it and mess it up.
You never know. And knowing Craig Smith, it's always an option to mess it up, as chooses the top, gains a row. That was a good decision to make there. But we'll see. We'll see how this works out. And it's always tricky. You can't really change too much, but I've never seen anybody actually change something big and then just all of a sudden go to the front. It just seems like talent is really just a part of the adjustment. Unless you're changing drivers. As we go back green, 25 laps to go in the Cup Series All-Star version of the Winston. Biscuit Williams not doing as well as I thought he would. He's probably just crumbling apart right now, isn't he?
I see what you did there.
Very good.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Look at this gaggle.
My goodness. And you know what? Did you notice that we have a lot less cautions here in the Cup Series? And I don't want to dare say the word talent as we're on board with Craig Smith, but these guys are just a little bit more talented, less carts. I agree with that as well, but maybe there's a little bit more talent level and a little more common sense.
Yeah, when you're running these engines that are north of 16 horsepower at this point, you got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to get that bar off with just one finger. You can't go in there blind, not knowing what you're doing. So these guys are definitely a step above the rest of the competition you may see here at DNQ Race Weekend.
Travis, can we see you in the Cup Series within the next couple of years? Do you feel like your program's getting ready to step up to that or not?
Oh, I don't know. We'd have to have some extensive meetings. I could see a USAC appearance out of me, but I don't know about Cup. But one day maybe. Oh my God, that's what I'd look like if I did Cup right now.
Just out the loose stuff. Oh, Showalter got a piece of him there.
I think some votes came trickling in on the track, and he hit him over there in turn 4 and got up into
Just
the wall.
Unbelievable. Hard racing there with his owner, Showalter. He about flipped his shit and wrecked it. Unbelievable.
We've been talking all night about that track's widening out. It's even getting a little dry slick here with the daytime racing, which will happen. It's not until the sun goes down that the moisture starts to creep back up. So drivers got to be careful, dial a little bit more bite into that go-kart and keep it from that four-wheel drift that puts in the wall.
So a USAC start isn't out of the question for the Moonhead team. That's interesting to hear. Whose equipment were you talking about running there, Moonhead?
I don't know if I should say.
Fair.
I'm gonna leave everybody.
Fair. Leave us. Yeah, I would say this fair.
But 2 in the pink,
yeah.
Perhaps.
Oh, I like it.
I want to run that one. I want to run that one just because of the 2 in the pink.
Absolutely. That's say less. As we watch Chris Bailey, who Jay-Z didn't have a very good season. I'm not gonna lie. He won the 2022 championship. Had that chemical imbalance in the tires, but he's running good here today. And I can tell the future. He did not fail a tire sample. So is this something that we could see from him in the 2024 season? Maybe have a shot at that championship again.
I think so. Running faster when you're cheating, as we're looking at the Ultimate Racing Helmet's infield camera here, it shows you what your cart is lacking. If all of a sudden you pick up grip because those 4 tires, stick better, whether it be the right front, the right rear, whatever it is, it kind of tells you what you're doing wrong with your go-kart overall. So, though we had to pay a $500 fine or whatever it was and vacate that win, maybe he's better off because of it. I expect that momentum to carry through to 2024.
No doubt. And he works at Phantom Racing Chassis, so he knows a lot of stuff. I mean, this guy is very dangerous when his carts are right. And that's what we're seeing here today is he's got it figured out. He's gapped the field. He's gapped the champion from last year's Showalter. And Alfredo Hidalgo having an amazing run despite about flipping and breaking his neck. He is running third.
Yeah, I guess he didn't damage that cart. Or maybe he made it better. Who knows?
Yeah, could have knocked the toe out a little bit there and made it a little bit better. Kyle Beatty struggling with all that aero equipment on that thing, JZ.
Yeah, he's going into one that last lap. He's almost backing it in there as we're catching a battle here. 3 carts running together. He definitely took some mechanical grip out of that go-kart over the break as the 5 to go caution comes out. Better, but I don't think it's good enough to win here, even when we punch them back together as we look at the Nitro Manufacturing 5 to go.
Yeah, I mean, this right here is when it's game on, and I'm sure Travis knows this from running the races he's run, especially in the series that he's in. When you get to 5 to go, you're like, all right, game on. Whoever's in front of me is getting hammered.
Absolutely. I mean, the glove, like I said earlier, the gloves are really off now.
Showalter got there in the loose stuff. That opens the door for Alfredo Hidalgo. Biscuit Williams starting to reform himself. Beatty makes the move inside of Biscuit.
Ooh, up in 3 wide, Beat in the middle, Biscuit on the bottom. Bobby Showtime ekes out ahead of both of them as he come off of 4 with 3 to go.
Wow, Biscuit Williams tries to throw the slide. What was that? That's going to cost him a lot. Wow.
That was awesome, though. What an effort.
I think you've been watching a little too much Flow Racing, I think, and said, it works on TV, it'll work for me, and just threw it in there.
No kidding. That was a 2 a.m. text. White flag is out for Chris Bailey. Yeah. Chris Bailey going to come home and take home the all-star race win here at the Winston for the Cup Series. Great run by him. Let's go down and talk to him in victory lane.
All right, Chris Bailey down here in victory lane. You could have let off the gas a little bit, made it not look as easy.
Yeah, man, that was a good one there. It hit the setup perfect. I actually talked to Showalter earlier in the week, and he just reaffirmed what I was thinking the whole time as far as what I used to do last year and what I was trying to do this year that just didn't work. And so went back to that, and it definitely paid off. And can't thank Austin Pless and Gary Freeze, Speed Clinic. Can't thank them enough for the motors. Harold Wiggins for the chassis. Yeah, it don't get much better than that.
So Showalter gave you the setup, but you're still a straightaway.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he got me in the right direction. I can't say he didn't. We talked earlier. Probably last week we seen each other at lunch. We talked a little bit, and he told me some stuff, and it definitely helped.
Who helps you out in this machine? I see the one who lets you come here, but who helps you out?
What, as far as everything else,
Yeah.
just my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's the one I said that lets you come.
Yeah, she lets me come. But everybody at Phantom, all the guys, Harold, James, Tony Belk, all the guys up there, Brad, all the guys in the back, they really make a difference on this. So it helps me get it done.
Chris Bailey, winner of the Cup Series, here today at the All-Star Race. Alfredo's second place finish here. This shows that you could be faster than Showalter if you had a pit crew there for that pit stop challenge.
Yeah, that was. Is it working? Yeah, there we go. That pit stop definitely didn't go as planned, but I knew we had a good go-kart, and I knew we were fast. So, and the worst we could start was 4th or 5th. So, that had to deal with that. Wasn't a problem though.
Did you have anything for the 4th?
It seems like I was getting him pretty good in 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 I was a little loose, so that's where it evened out. So there really wasn't much I could do. I'm just, glad to be here, glad to finish in the podium for the first time, and it was a fun race. Glad to have my family and Shoei, because without him, I'd be running like a bag of ass. So,
Alfredo, second place finish. here at the Cup Series. Robert Showalter, third place finish now. I don't know if you know, Chris Bailey told us in the interview, but you kind of helped him out this week, told him what the setup was. So why did he straight away you when you gave him the setup?
I don't know. He must have just figured out my my help better than I did. No, we were just for some reason tires didn't want to come in, and then by the time they did, the football game, yeah. By the time they did, he was already half a track ahead of me. So these tires I got on here, they're from almost a year old. So probably should have maybe brought a sticker set, I guess, and tried it. And yeah, congratulations to him. We just missed it. That's all.
Robert Showalter missed it pretty good. Third place finish here today.
SRI Pole Award for the All-Star race for the Busch and Pro Cup Series goes to Carson Dollarhide. He ran a 46.520. Had some help from guys that do this on Sunday, so he had a lot of really good help.
Yeah, Dollarhide's been running up front the last few weeks as the weather's gotten a little cooler. Even though it's warm today, he's really taken on the mantle of leader, a guy to chase here in DNQ.
He will share the front row with Brandon Condor, who had another great pit stop.
Anthony Kidwell, Isaac Harris.
Travis Brown.
There's me.
There's Handsome in the L1 and Gage Painter next to him.
Zach Campbellonia and Andrew Hale, who won the Open in the next row.
Jeremy Morris, Jonathan Stewart.
Will Monroe in the 98 and Jeremy Murphy in the 55.
Eric
Yost.
Damien. Oh, I'm so out of order.
It doesn't matter. It really. We don't even have to say these guys' names. We can just talk over it. It doesn't matter. We're just out here having a good time. We're up here in the booth. We're having a great time. There's a guy in turn one just chilling. Can't get his
knocked
engine.
the shit out of somebody on these pace laps too. I don't know what I was doing, but I meant to apologize to him. But I'll be honest, I don't remember who it was. But I knocked the shit out of him.
Oh man. 390 stock Predator. Gear rules per driver weight, shredded Hoosier tires, and like we said, we'll send shit off to the lab in a heartbeat, so don't mess with the tires, which actually ended up becoming a storyline for this race, unfortunately.
Foreshadowing.
For two guys that went to the front of the field very quick, who barely made the field, and all of a sudden they were fast. So, unfortunate, but it is part of it.
How much does it cost to send a set of tires
to
Wuhan?
$100 to send it to Wuhan. Drivers that failed to make the field here tonight. Some big names in there. Thomas Markham, Broidy. A couple guys went home. Unfortunate for them, but yeah, $100 per sample. So we send one tire sample out, it's $100. It cost us $300 to send them all out from this race. Shit ain't cheap, I'm telling you. And they send a COVID mixture back.
Ooh, really?
So yeah. Wuhan, out of control.
Man.
They can't prove it, but I swear it was. Jonathan Stewart has an in-car camera because he has a GoPro mount on his helmet. The only reason.
Oh, there we go. Really checking up.
Yeah, there it is.
I remember that. I got hit, man.
So here we go. Green flag, 100 laps. Now, we got a lot of out-of-shape drivers, a lot of, different strategies out there. So make sure you wreck the shit out of somebody on lap 2, right? That's how it's going to work.
Absolutely. And you will see right here probably the most embarrassing moment of my D&Q career. Right here, I realize it's over. Look at me. Up the hill I go, and there they wreck.
Yeah. Well, Childs around. Yeah, that's a tough break there, isn't it? That's very demoralizing, right?
Absolutely. All that acting like an idiot on Twitter for a month for 2 laps in the top 5.
I mean, you got 98 laps to get back up there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Yeah. We'll see how it unfolds.
We'll watch the slight progression. Brandon Conner did the same thing almost. I mean, he was running good and just kind of fell to the back. Gage Painter in the 12. Unfortunately, you can go ahead and void what you're watching. His tires were squealing on the racetrack. So,
is this confirmed?
Yes, that's the reason it tipped me off. So we're watching the race. We'll go in the corner. You hear, okay, we're going to take a sample. Guess what? It failed. So, you think you're smarter than everybody doing this stuff, and unfortunately not the case. And I think The guy, Eric Yost, as well, may have had something else going on. He failed tech as well. So don't pay attention to those two. They'll be up front during the race, but the real race is behind them. Unfortunate. As Jeremy Morris did a great job as well, the redneck survivor. As Kidwell gets bounced around 5 wide.
He took a swing at him.
He did.
Did
And
you
know
see
what?
that?
I did see that. That was impressive.
Now we're 4 wide.
Oh,
look at me.
this. Oh,
look at me. I'm getting back. Oh, God.
Wow.
You know, Will Monroe in the 98 was trying to wreck for the last 4 laps in a row. No matter where he went, someone was driving into the side of him. I hope both drivers are okay. That was a heck of a lift.
Yeah, that was a heck of a shot. Unfortunate. Wow.
Oh, his head hit the fence.
Hunter Parsons may not know what year it is by the time he wakes up from that hit. And, we have brake pedals on these as well. Could hit the brake pedal, maybe slowed it down. Look at this again. Okay. Boo. Oh, my gosh.
Golly.
Wow. He'll end up in Halifax Medical Center from a hit like that.
Oh, my gosh. I remember under the red flag, too.
He's actually in the back of that cart.
They were really struggling to get this thing out of here. We were sitting in 1 and 2 watching this, and they couldn't figure out which way to go with it. And someone, I don't remember what driver it was, but someone was very upset. He threw his arms up in disgust many times.
Yeah, I hope Dale's okay after he's seeing that shot, huh? Glad Hunter Parsons is okay. Heck of a shot. As we go back green, and man, I'm glad you're okay, and that was a hell of a shot. Probably woke up and saw Davey Allison and Dale Earnhardt themselves.
You okay, kid?
That's a heck of a shot. That's a heck of a shot you took there, buddy. Those videos always crack me up. We're on board in the Ultimate Racing Helmets corner camera. And, Gage Painter and Carson Dollarhide. Give him the finger. There you go. Gotta love it. And now that he's back there, Gage Painter's back there, now you're going to see what wiping tires does. Because watch how fast he's going to go through this field.
Look at that idiot in the 01.
Yeah, hey, part of it.
All over that guy.
So you got Carson Dollarhide who just got hopped. He started on the pole. Falls to the back. Been running good all year, right? This is called logic. As we're going to go to the 3-way view here. You can use all the innuendos you want. But this is great footage.
Yeah, big thanks to Nowhere US for coming on board for the Busch Series sponsorship here as we're showing our 3-way and watching the track sort of transition into full shadows now. You know, it identifies as a full, dry, sunny track during the day. And as that sun goes down, it transitions to that wet tackiness that Millbridge is famous for. So keep an eye on the comers and goers, people in the back, coming to the front. There's transitioning happening all around us these days.
And look at the 12. The 12 just got ramsacked, right? Full-blown FBI, CIA raid. And now he's all the way back. Brand new house, boat, shop in the back. And the 74 is towards the back of the field. You just can't do that, right? So common sense tells you, and this is for all the guys at home that think they can wipe their tires and come race, you're not fucking passing 15 carts in a couple laps. Like, that is common sense. It's so dumb that you guys think you can get away with this stuff. Like, it just makes me laugh. Because you see this and it's like, it's not possible. Nobody else is doing that, so what do you think's going to happen, right? That's how we keep people honest.
And we got more tempers here. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody gave somebody the finger there.
Absolutely. And I love it. That's what DNQ is all about. Is that backyard racing, middle finger, and this is probably 30? We're not even halfway yet through this race.
I gave a guy the finger once.
Hey, you know what? That's part of it. That's part
but
of DNQ racing.
I was an idiot. He passed me and I gave him the finger. So I still to this day don't even remember who it was. But I gave some guy the finger and he doesn't even know it. And it just made me look like a fool.
Ooh, man,
you know what? You just fit in.
Yeah. I'm usually laughing at people giving each other the finger out there.
Isaac Harris, the leader of this race right now, he's had a pretty good season. Eric Yost behind him. Jeremy Morris doing a great job in that 48 cart as well. There's Gage Painter all the way up to the front. We already touched on what's going on there. And, man, Will Monroe towards the back. If you need shocks, go see Monroe Shocks. He has nothing to do with that. Just reminds me of the name. And there you are, Brown Travis towards the back of the field.
Going, man. Hauling. I think I'm running dead ass last.
Yeah, maybe. You know, who's counting?
Well, other than those guys who wrecked like hell earlier. I think they were behind me. But
Yeah. Jeremy Morris doing a great job here. The Redneck Survivor has one DNQ win, started 10th in this feature, working his way up into the top 5 of this 100-lap race. And, man, we talked about 100 laps, Jay-Z. There's a mental aspect that goes behind that 100 laps, too, isn't there?
You know, there is. You're second-guessing your setup. If you did your pressures right, you're worrying, who's running you down. Eventually it's hard to focus on your own race after 25, 30 laps. It's definitely some mental gymnastics out there. There's the 55 and the Amish running back going at it, trading haymakers.
What's it like, Travis, running a long race like this? Do you find yourself looking up at the pylon, seeing how many laps there are left? Do you do that a lot during the race?
I had a walking taco before this race, so there were a few times in the race where I was thinking that was a mistake. But you see, looking to the inside here, like I said, I trained fiercely for this race. I took it very serious. A lot of time in the sauna, a lot of time running, some light weights here and there as the caution's out. But typically I was just waiting for the next caution, for a slight breather.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm sure this will take its tolls. We have a bumper on the front stretch, so there's debris that's going to be parked. You got to have a rear bumper in D&Q to race. As the Professor Clutchworks restart zone gets going, and Isaac Harris leads this field. Campolonia there. Jeremy Morris says we're back green. Man, gotta love how this field spreads out like that. Campolonia gets hit by Morris, opens the door for 3 carts there.
Oh, yeah, we had
Connor.
one. He was airborne there for a minute.
Connor, man, tough break for that past Pro Cup champion from 2022. And that's what happens during these restarts, Jay-Z. You get bounced around a little bit, you're 15th.
Yeah, and on the opposite, you can take advantage of like Kidwell, who's been buried back in traffic all race. He's finally sniffing the top 5, but again, he's stuck on the outside, gets shuffled wide, and loses a couple more spots here as Dollarhide's making a run on the top, trying to make a name for himself.
You get in those bad arrow situations, Travis. Is that part of it? You're back here with the bad arrow as Kirk goes around.
Yes, Kirk went around, and I think that was a case of a bad arrow situation. With this package we've got here in D&Q right now, as you see the instant replay here, the package we've been dealt, there's just a lot of arrow factors. And you can see blue card up there. I don't know who that was. I may have spun him out missing that wreck.
Back green, double file restart here again, and we'll see how this plays out again. Jeremy Morris goes to the inside for the 3rd position. He's clear. Oh, yeah. Wow. Big hit for the 32 car of Jay Zarapata. His teammate about snapped his neck on the backstretch there earlier, and that's going to bring out the caution once again. That deal for Slip Rod Restos, man, they are having a tough day.
Yeah.
Bad arrow spot, gets pushed up, and then Dollarhide had nowhere to go but to get into him.
You sniff the back of a go-kart, the left front gets real light all of a sudden. You're heading right towards the wall.
Single file restarts now to the 5 to go or the halfway break. I can't remember what we did as we go back green, and I think single file may clean up a little bit, but probably won't that much, to be honest with you. Gosh dang, ton of beat.
Yeah, guys know that the laps are ticking away. They're in a nice groove there, but we mentioned it again, cautions breed cautions as Connor tries to fight his way on the outside of Kidwell in that 0-0.
Melton involved in that as well. Now, Mike Melton doing something special here. He is in the Kinder 821 cars and just trying it out. I don't know if there's something going on there for 2024, but interesting to see Mike Melton driving one of those carts here tonight. And we know KPG puts a great product out on racetrack.
Oh,
yeah, this hurts to watch.
Yes, yeah, they got that brand new setup plate they have in their shop with some new data numbers through AWS they've been running through a simulator. So I'm hoping some really good things will come out of that shop in 2024 as their data guys are just running trials through that simulator through CFD, and they'll find some performance.
I know as we're watching a 3-wide battle with Jeremy Morris, Isaac Harris starting to sink a little bit, and Campolonia the past Dash Series champion. Kinder, I was talking to him the other day, and he told me he's got a full-blown arrive and drive driver for the 2024 season. He's very excited to get to work with a new driver. And, we've seen what he's done in the USAC series, and now he's finally sold a ride. So that's very cool to see for KPG.
What are these deals going for?
I don't know. That's a great question.
What, 200,000 for a season?
Yeah, I would say probably pretty close to it. 10 race season, it's about on par. And you know what? That's what it takes. That's the price, right?
Right. I mean, but this is the premier. So, I mean, Miltona, I'm pumped. I don't know about you guys. It's probably the second most thought about day in January right now. So, I'm pretty excited to just storm the track, Just being some of my, finding a group of guys with a common belief and storming the racetrack together. It's just going to be so much fun.
Yeah. JZ, do you have that weird helmet with the horns on it?
I do, and I got a little bit of face paint left over as well, so it'll be a good time at Miltona.
Yep, good. Eric Yost and Gage Painter cheating, so disregard those two. Whoever's third is pretty much leading this race right now. And you know what? That's part of it. That's part of D&Q. I get it, obviously, they're ahead of everybody for a reason.
And going back to what you said earlier, Bob, everyone that's been in dirt since 1989 knows that all the good shit shows up on a sniffer and a lab test. Right? Anything that's actually worth the damn in time on your tires shows up in a test. So stop being stupid.
Yeah, and I get it. Some people want to do it just to have fun, but I mean, the truth is, we're gonna check. This kart right here, the 4, was mid-pack in the open, and just turned the switch on. So it's pretty obvious. You know what I mean? Same thing with the 12. You can hear it squealing. You can hear the tire squealing. So I mean, Anyway, there it is. We are at halfway. And trust me, I was down there with Gage Painter when I heard the squealing tire to make sure it didn't disappear.
Yeah, yep.
And here we go. The teams are going to go to work. They can change tires. They can do whatever. I definitely walked down there and said, if you're taking that tire off, I'm going to go ahead and take it right now. And they decided to put it on the right front instead. Other than that, what do you change here, man? I mean, we see the track going through a big transition there. And we know these guys are going to talk and you know what's going on. But, I mean, what do you do here with the temperature change? Do you change air pressure that much?
I'll defer to Travis on this one. I know he was struggling, so he's probably changing everything he can get his hands on at this little intermission here with the bike coming back into the racetrack. Travis, where was your head at here?
I was looking in the grandstands trying to see if there was any good scenery.
Take air out of everything.
Let's listen to Jonathan Stewart. He just said, take air out of everything, I guess.
There's nothing to do. Take one out of the right side.
Take one out of the right size. He said, this is the call. I mean, we're watching literally the offensive coordinator make the calls.
That was good. I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Drivers conversing here. Interesting to listen to. Great conversations.
Yeah, I wish Larry Mack was in the booth tonight to talk a little bit more about what these guys are thinking and how the dynamics of that chassis may change and what his call may be.
Do you think they needed gas here, Travis? I mean, I would say you want to be lighter, but then again, we do have the weight rule, so I can see why they want to add it.
Yeah, I think certainly a cart with gas runs better than one without gas.
Facts.
We're watching these guys do a lot of work down here on the front stretch as we're in the halfway break, 50 laps into this all-star race, the Winston. And we're going to let these guys go to work. We'll be right back after this great Winston cigarettes commercial. Beverly Hillbillies, actually, was this one.
What you doing, Granny?
Making myself a new pipe.
Oh, I got something here you're going to cotton to. That banker fella gave them to me.
What's that?
Winston cigarettes. Try one, Granny. They's first rate.
Well, if you say they're really good.
Best smoking you ever had.
thunder, Jed. That is good smoking.
Now try it this way, Granny.
Tastes even better.
They tell me these Winstons is the best tasting cigarette you can get.
Well, I may put away my corn cob. That's saying a heap for 'em.
You know, Granny, there just ain't no way of saying how good a Winston is. You gotta smoke one to find out.
Well, I can say this. Winston tastes mighty good.
Like a cigarette should.
Welcome back to the Winston, featuring the Josh Long Memorial from Milbridge Speedway in Salisbury, North Carolina. 50 laps are down in this Busch Pro Cup All-Star race. We've had some adjustments made, and we'll see what happens and if anybody can get to the front besides the guys that have some soakers on. I mean, we're seeing the strategy play out here. We know the first two are probably illegal. They are. So that's what you always don't know in D&Q, right? There's a little bit of mystery behind who's leading the race and if they're going to get caught, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Travis, you sit there and you see some guy driving away from you that you normally beat the pants off week in and week out. Do you want to just reach over and pull the spark plug off his engine as you're going by him?
No, I usually just think about, maybe having some sort of meeting and prohibit him from ever running again. If we can't beat him, just take him down that way.
Could be, as we are single file in the Professor Clutchworks restart zone. So right now, Isaac Harris would be your leader with Zach Campoloni in second. Zach's done a great job this year. I don't want to discredit him at all. Won the Dash Series championship and really coming to his own. And it's persistence that really pays off as he gets moved by Jeremy Morris. Persistence in D&Q is key. Surrounding yourself with the right people. I mean, Travis, Zach was kind of doing the same thing you were doing when he first started as well, and now he's won a championship and running well.
It's inspiring is what it is. I need to go talk to him.
Absolutely, and he's part of the Showalter stable as he is running well. And then you've got Carson Dollarhide battling back from that early adversity that he had by getting left-reared.
Man, it's tough. There's no room coming off the forward there. That track is hella wide right now as Dollarhide does the old "what the hell, man" sign with his hands, even though everyone's just racing him normally as anyone normally would.
He may have an issue going on there. He's usually not that slow, and he is just really down on power as Andrew Hill is pushing him. The rest of the field is blowing by him.
Maybe he was waving them off. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it wasn't a what the hell. Maybe it was I'm broke.
It could very well could be.
Damian Jenks doing a great job as well here. And you guys had a formidable competition there in the votes, and he actually came close to getting that as we're watching a three-wide battle.
Yeah. He did well in Iowa, and that was going to be the deciding factor, I thought, but we were able to pull through overnight.
Yeah, as Jay-Z, I've noticed that bottom lane is starting to get closer to the berm as we race in there. Those guys have beaten it down enough to where it's almost to the berm there in the center of the corner.
Yeah, you can see when these guys are pushing real hard coming off the corners. They try to get down in that low spot where the track flattens out. As we're getting a peek from the outside at 3 and 4 here on the Ultimate Racing Helmets camera, you get on that flat part, it's kind of like pushing the spindle down on that go-kart. It sort of helps with the weight jacking, and will get that kart to turn so you don't push off the corner. So I think as the race goes on, you'll see more and more people really try to take another bite of that bottom and run it in with that left front.
What's crazy to me is the fact that more wedge turns better. It took me a long time to figure that out in go-kart racing.
Yeah, it's really strange. Like even sometimes with the road course stuff, you go up in air pressure for more grip and down in air pressure for less grip in the go-kart, just because the sidewalls, the spring rate of the tires, it's totally ass backwards in the way you do it with race cars sometimes. So it just takes a little while to get past the weird stuff.
Watching this battle with Brandon Conard, Will Monroe, Damian Jenks, Mike Melton in the 821, and Zach Smith. But that is Zach Campoloni doing well here as well. But we talked to Travis Brown earlier about winning the All-Star vote. Let's talk to him and see what he had to say.
Down here with Moonhead, Travis Brown, your All-Star Race fan vote winner. What a campaign. We got a lot of late-night votes, a couple absentee ballots dumped there at the end. You still end up winning. Talk about the support you have from the people And talk about this race here today, 100 laps.
Man, it's awesome. You know, I was hoping we could hold on. We dipped in the poles there for a little bit, but I think we're doing all right. I'm excited about the race. Very appreciative for everybody's support because I didn't have a snowball's chance in hell at making this without them. So happy we did it. Happy we came out on top. Happy it's not as controversial as the Cup one. I was expecting the My Pillow guy to be running around in here when I saw everybody on Facebook mad about the Cup one. So I don't know. I'm just here to have fun, learn a little bit, and get ready for next year. It's been kind of a miserable season for me.
You got 100 laps. You get a caution, you can come in, mess with air pressure. Is that really what this is about? It's an R&D kind of race for you?
Yeah, pretty much. At least that's what I'm going to call it. If I run good, I'm going to say it was business as usual, but it's R&D for now.
So how do you feel like the money that's been handled to Ukraine? Do you feel good about that? Do you feel good about the Ukraine money, or do you want to get some of that in your pockets, kind of make a non-profit and get some of it?
If I win races next year, you'll know why.
It's a man of the people. He's a man who's got the fans' vote, and he's going to try and get this win here tonight in the All-Star race.
That's pretty cool to talk to Travis Brown about winning that All-Star race that we talked about earlier, and a lot of voting went into that. And, you know, there's a lot of big social media campaign going on there.
Yeah, he got a little carried away.
Not a bad thing when you have a following. I'm sure Moon Car didn't hurt as we watch Campolonia in a legitimate spot there with Isaac Harris. The rest of the field down there. Jeremy Morris only comes out to mess around every once in a while. Jamie Knopf, his brother, those guys are big names in karting. And he goes, you know what? I'm going to come out here, buy a set of treads, and I'm just going to have fun. That's all I want to do. And he's doing well. And that seems to be, Jay-Z, you know that name very well as well. And they just come out here and have fun. That's something to be said about the series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've had some really big names come in this series and go away. You know, guys that have won tens of thousands of dollars in a season, running big dirt races in the South, and we've had the D&Q, born and bred boys come up and show them how to get it done too. You know, it speaks to the level of competition in this series, especially in the Busch series and the Pro Cup with the big motors. You know what I mean? It's quite the series here as we see the two cheaters running away with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. Travis, I'm sure that you would be the man to tell us that as we're checking out Gage Painter, who won the national championship this year. What would your advice be to somebody who's trying to start out in D&Q?
I'd first tell them maybe seek alternative hobbies. But, if they like feeling beat down, battered, bruised, and just like an overall piece of shit one night a month, this is the place to come and get your ass kicked.
The competition level is high, Jay-Z, and it's really tough when you have guys who work on Cup cars and Xfinity cars all the time out here racing. It's got to be tough to race against them.
It is, man. There's people of an inkling of what to do with the go-kart. As the season goes on, they get some more experiences. We're looking here at the 48 and Magic Mike Mellon started ninth, making his way up through the field. There's some good guys out here that figure stuff out, that build that notebook. We talked about the alliances earlier in this year, whether it's Kinder Performance, whether you're out of Magic or Bobby Showtime's camp. There was the Outlaw contingent for a little while. There's ways to share information and get quicker. Just come out here, shake hands, don't be a dick, and the people will help you out.
Absolutely, and that's usually how it works, is the networking part of it. Travis, how much information do you share with Vargas? I know he's only a Dash Series competitor. Does he try to help you out at all?
Not really, but I mean, yeah, I guess we work well together, but I don't know. Our notebooks are a lot different. He does. I don't have to add weight to my cart. He does. He runs a whole different rule package, so I don't really know what all carries over. As we have got, oh my God, a 3 and 4 wide battle. That was me up there trying to let all those guys go, and I feel like I did a damn good job. I think I was the best lap car of the evening.
Yeah, Jeremy Morris started to fade. He said his throttle linkage come undone, which sucks. That little cable comes out of the set screw. That sucks.
I know a thing or two about throttle issues.
Yeah, that happens. Jonathan Stewart around here if you wanted to see what a set of soakers looks like in front of you. Watch how quick this car dies away from him. So, part of it, Jonathan Stewart still trying to figure out his big tire program. He's got the Dash Series stuff figured out. As, man, we are close. We are closing into 95 laps out on this racetrack, which is about an eternity in a go-kart. I mean, Jay-Z, it feels like the time slows down tremendously when you're out there.
Yeah, especially with dirt track racing here. You get in that rhythm and you're just paying attention. You're hitting your marks, and the laps start to click off, and you just lose track of where you are. Sometimes you got to glance up at the pylon and make sure you're still sane.
Yeah, we used to run a track in Kernersville, AAR Speedway on asphalt. You were falling out of the seat. You were begging to see a caution flag. Sometimes you just wreck somebody to get one.
Yeah, I went back and watched those. Whatever happened to that? Why don't we do that?
We have treaded tires now, and you could do slicks and prep, but you'd have to buy a set for them.
Okay.
And the whole jumping carts and somebody getting hurt, lack of insurance thing kind of put that to an end.
Yeah.
It was a ton of fun, though. It was a really good track to race on, just the liability factor, as the caution is out for the Nitro, 5 to go. The back of somebody's shop is really not the legally safest place to do something, correct?
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. Professor Clutchworks restart zone, 5 to go on this 100-lap race. Pay attention to Campolonia and Isaac Harris, Jonathan Stewart, and Anthony Kidwell as the green is out. Those guys are racing for the win. The top two are not.
You should have censored the top two. You should have just blurred them out.
Put the Chinese penis blur on it as we are down the back stretch in the Ultimate Racing Helmets camera. Yeah, like they do on the overhead display. As we're watching the race for the win, Isaac Harris, Campolonia, and Kidwell racing for this win on this 100.
Yeah, Morris throwing his hat in the ring here saying, I'm not done yet, boys. Watch out for me. I'm coming through. The Amish running back trying his best as Harris almost gets a left rear. We're counting down the laps here, folks.
Disregard this. Blur the feet. Blur it. I mean, there's a sizable difference between these two guys and the rest of the field. As the white flag is out, we're going to watch a checker now. Carts are spinning down the front stretch. Campolonia has the nose on these carts. And at the time we didn't know. Checkered flag is out, and here they come. Campolonia gets that win. He's going to take all the money. Let's go down and talk to our actual winner.
Belonga finish at third. Did you have anything for them top two at all?
Nah, I didn't have anything for Gage and whoever won, but car was good on long runs. 5 to go, caution kind of hurt me, but solid P3. I'll take it. One thing, Showalter. Raced at garage doors, my family, my neighbors all coming out. Jeremy Alshey hosting D&Q and had a good time.
Third place finish here for Zach in the Busch Series.
Well, guys, I had a great time covering this all-star race. The Josh Long Memorial is everything that it was supposed to be, lived up to the great hype of it.
Yeah, the track was perfect as always. Thank you to the Burnett's and Millbridge for hosting here. Great competitors coming out this weekend for arguably the second biggest race of the year behind Miltona. Way to honor Josh Long. It was a great race all around.
Yeah, I had a great time. Sorry, I was kind of zoned out there, but yeah, that was a great time. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to do it again next year.
Well, thanks for joining us, Travis and Jay-Z. And we had a great time covering this race, and we will see you guys at Miltona. Super pumped up for that race, but enjoy this one, and we'll see you on January 21st.